Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to make some Christmas crackers, but you can use this design for any holiday. In fact, I think this would be really sweet for Halloween favors or for Valentine's Day or 4th of July, really anything you like. But I'm going to do it up for Christmas because I think this is also a really fun idea. If you wanted to do an advent calendar, you could put a bunch of these like in a basket or hang them from the tree and put a different number on them, and you could have your treats in there for your children. So it's just another way that you can do that. I really love festive things, and these to me have a very timeless look to them. So we're going to be doing some stamping. This video is brought to you by Rubber Stamp Tapestry. You can find them online at pegstamps.com and check out the video description for a coupon to save 20% off of your stamps. So the first thing we're going to do is make the container that's going to go on the inside. Now you could use a paper towel roll cut up, you could use a toilet paper roll, but I find that I like to just make them out of cardstock because they're sanitary and very inexpensive to do it that way. Although if you do want to use toilet paper rolls, you can actually take the rolls out of the toilet paper before you even put the toilet paper on your toilet paper dispenser. So that's another option too, but it's very easy. And what you're going to do is take a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. Any like inexpensive cardstock. In fact, this works better with the lighter weight cardstock, like the Georgia Pacific from Walmart or Sam's Club. And what you're going to do is kind of break down the fibers of the cardstock. And what I'm going to do is here show you the edge of my table by zooming out a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just kind of put my hand's going up against the edge of the table, and I'm going to pull the cardstock. I know you can't really see it too much on frame, but I'm going to keep pulling it so it kind of curls it, kind of like you're curling ribbon, and then you're going to turn it around and do it on the other side, and this is going to make your cardstock want to curl on you. Alright, so I'm going to zoom back in a bit because that's a little, you don't need to see the edge of my table. And now I'm going to take some strong adhesive. Now you can use hot glue for this, but this just gives you a little more time if you use a double-sided tape. And this is just a really strong double-sided tape by Craft Chameleon. You could use score tape, the Sukwon tape, any sort of just strong double-sided tape. I don't think the ATG tape is strong enough for this. And then I just fold in any little extra adhesive. Now it just so happens that just a 4-ounce bottle works great as a template here. So if you have a little hairspray bottle or water bottle that you use for crafting, it works really well for this. And I just roll it up tightly and I just match up my edges. So this is, like I said before, a 1/4 of a sheet of cardstock. So it's just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. And that way I get a perfect little tube that's, I would say that's just about exactly what a toilet paper roll is. Maybe they're a little bit longer by maybe 1/4 of an inch, but not much. So that's the base. This is what's, this is how much room you're going to have for your treats, whether it be candy, other little, treats, like maybe if you're a school teacher and you don't want to do candy, but you want to do a project like this, you could do stickers and pencil sharpeners and erasers and little things like that from the dollar store. It's just a good little thing you can do. So the next thing we need is some tissue paper, and your tissue paper, I have cut just shades of red and pink because I thought it goes with this kind of vintagey looking paper I've been using. And what you have here, I just want to show you the size. You want this to be at least twice as long as your tube, maybe a little bit longer than that, okay? And so I have this cut to it's about 11 inches by 8 inches, so about the size of a piece of cardstock. So I'll pull it up so you can see the whole thing. And I got 8 pieces from my stack of tissue paper, which is just a standard size tissue paper. And I'm going to fold this up in half and then in half again because I want to pink the edges, because it gives you just a little bit of a, just a little, little fluff at the end. And then if you have some uneven edges, you can kind of trim them up there. I'm also working on a non-stick craft mat, so it's non-stick as far as like paint and ink and stuff goes, but tissue paper, glitter, embossing powder, that stuff sticks to it like crazy. So you do not have to be really fussy with that. It's going to look great when you're done. I'm just going to move some of those out of the way, and I'll clean it up before we do our stamping. So now I'm going to open it up and I'm going to offset my layers here. And then on this, I'm going to put some more adhesive. And I find that 2 strips works best, so I'm going to do a strip on each end. And the reason it works best this way is because the paper won't shift. Now you can do this without any adhesive, like maybe if you're filling up your containers right now, but I'm not. I will probably fill these up a little bit closer to the holiday, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use these as part of an advent calendar or just little gift wrapping, but I am going to wait to see. Now this is really sticky adhesive, so I don't want it to fall on my tissue paper before I am ready. And I'm going to center it up. So why don't I move my paper so you can kind of see. So this is the end. I'm going to center that up as best I can there, because I want to have an even amount of tissue on each end. Now I'm kind of like breaking these steps down pretty slow for you, because I want to make sure that you're catching them all. But once you get in the once you make these yourself, it goes really quickly. As you get to the end here, you're going to want to fold in the longer layers of tissue, because we offset it at the beginning. So what I have here is I had a layer of red, 2 layers of light pink, and a layer of hot pink, because that's how it came off of my thing of tissue paper, because I have a rainbow assortment of tissue paper, and also went with these kind of retro themed papers that I really love. So so that's what I went with, and then I am just going to roll it up the rest of the way. And then what I want to do is twist the ends here, and that's actually going to help hold it down, hold the paper down while I am getting my next piece ready. And then you can untwist these when it comes time to fill them. And also, you can use some like little, this is like just a little star garland, and you can find this at your dollar store for, you know, $1 for a 20-foot roll, and it really goes a long way. Or you could use a metallic pipe cleaner would work really well, or any sort of string. But the nice thing about using this or pipe cleaner is that you don't have to tie it. And you could actually, I think I can use scissors for this. I'm kind of picky about using scissors for wire, but this is not as thick as a pipe cleaner. This is almost like it's almost like a metallic thread. It's got a little bit of wire in it, but it's not enough, I don't think, I wouldn't use your favorite scissors, I guess I should say. But, you know, if you have some inexpensive scissors, that's fine. I think the wire in the silver one's thinner than the gold, because I was using those on the gold just fine, but it's too thin for those to cut. And then you just want to pull out the fluff, kind of make it all a little puffier. Okay, now for the middle band, you're going to have a piece of cardstock. I used 3 inches by 6 inches, so you can get no waste out of a 12 by 12 paper. You can get 8 of these out of a 12 by 12 paper, which would be, and you can get 4 of the inside bases out of 1 piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So with 2 pieces of cardstock, 1 piece of pattern paper, that gives you 8 crackers. So, you know, if you're doing a classroom project, it's very affordable. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of adhesive on one end just as a tack strip, and then we're going to do adhesive all the way along the other end. So I'm just kind of lining that up as close to the edge as I can get it. And then I'm going to remove the adhesive on the tack strip side, and that's just to kind of grab it to our paper. And again, I'm just going to try to center that up as best I can, which apparently is not very good. Good grief. Completely crooked. Okay, there we go. Take 2. The good thing about the adhesive is that if you make a mistake and you remove it quick, just don't press down really well until you're sure you have it in the right spot. You have a little bit of a wiggle room. Fold over any excess adhesive, and then I just try to line up the edges, and then I'll know it's a cylinder. So that's how you make the base of your Christmas crackers. You can see I got a bunch of them. Don't they look fun and festive? I just love them. Okay, now we need to make the little label that's going to go on there, and for that, I'm going to actually clean this paper off, and then I'll show you how we're going to stamp it. I want to show you a few different motifs that I've stamped here, and what I'm using is return address labels for my labels. So this one has poinsettias. This one is just very simple with some snowflakes because of all of the teal and kind of aqua color that was on the sledding kids' outfits. My address labels, I think, are a little bit past their prime because they want to lift up a little bit. Usually they stick really well. This one I did with the ornaments, which I really like. And this one I did also with ornaments. So I think I think I want to do ornaments again. That was really fun. So let's just take a look here. We want to make sure we're using colors that are going to go. So probably better have some red and green at least, and then you can grab the other colors because they do look nice with those. You're going to take your address label, and you could stamp a bunch of these at once. I'm just going to stick that down right there, and I will zoom in a little bit more so you can see. Now the first thing I want to do is actually put a little bit of kind of foliage across the top. So I'm going to use a kind of like a piney or a holly. So that will just give me something to kind of anchor my ornaments to. And I think I'm going to go with this little holly here because I don't want to take up too much space. I want to make sure I have enough room at the bottom that I can write like a name. Or if I do want to fill it up more, I could fill it up with like a really pale color, like with some stars or something like that, with an aqua or a gold, and then I would have, you know, that nice look there. You could also hang candy cane, or these Christmas lights are really cute. You will need to color them in though if you want them to be colored, but those are also a really cute option. And I will link this stuff below so you will have all of that information when you go to purchase. So I've got these ornaments right here, which I think are really fun because they're kind of vintage and my paper's kind of vintage, so I feel like that theme is carried over really well. And basically what I like to do is just kind of look at my registration mark. Now on this, the registration mark is pointing to the bottom of the ornament, so which is handy because when you're stamping, a lot of times you're looking at that side of the stamp. And I'm going to put that on a couple times because I like red. It's my favorite color. And then I'm just going to kind of fill in with the others. Let's do teal. And I'm going to make this one look kind of, I like to make them kind of swinging, like they might be swinging in the breeze a little bit. And then maybe put one over there. And then a green one. Let's do this round one in green. And maybe clean this off, or maybe, oh, you know what, I'll do a candy cane. I'll hang a candy cane in there in red. That would be cute. Maybe hang that up a little higher because that would have to hang on a branch. So there, and we've got room at the bottom for any of our writing, so we can fit a name in there. So what I'm going to do now is just use my little blending brush, and I can either add a little bit more if I want to, or I could just kind of smear or smudge up the ink that like is hanging over the edge from stamping. So you can do whatever works for you. And there we have that, which is really pretty. And if you want, you could always mat that on a piece of cardstock and glue that down. But I just like to stick this down right over the seam there. And that's how you do a Christmas cracker. I hope you enjoyed this project today. I thought it was a lot of fun to make, and I think the possibilities for this are really endless. I mean, if you did it in red, white, and blue, you can make it look like a firecracker for 4th of July. You could do this in pinks and use Valentine paper for Valentine's Day. Do it in black and orange for Halloween, or greens for St. Patrick's Day. Fill it with those gold chocolate candies, those gold coins, those chocolate candies. There's just a lot of things that you can do with this. It's a quick and easy party favorite that you can make, and I hope you do try it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out our sponsor, Rubber Stamp Tapestry. You can find them at pegstamps.com, and don't forget the 20% off stamps coupon code I'm going to share in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.